Stuff said?
No.
No, okay.
Present it anyway.
Okay, I made a movie as well, but it's pretty small, this thing, and it's very slow, so you won't miss anything.
So is it like a slideshow?
It's like a slideshow, yeah.
And is it on repeat?
It is. Well, it's on a loop, but
Yeah.
it's about 8 minutes.
Okay, well,
Is this the one you had in your show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've
Yeah.
seen
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
so we can kind of talk. We can talk and watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna ask me questions.
No, I'm going to wait for you to speak.
Okay. Well, I had an idea to exhibit my work on the street, so anyone could see it, and in the form of monoprints mainly. I did two lino cuts and etching, but mainly on prints on like newsprint paper, thin paper. Actually, I got this paper from the pound shop. Big,
Thin paper is great for monoprints.
yeah.
I think it's better. Really.
Yeah, it was really good, and so I did the work at home, and well, first of all, I chose the walls. I don't have a picture of me choosing the walls, but on the film, the first sequence is just the walls, and then you see this is my work that I've done at home. This is the second stage, because I chose, I think, 8 walls, and.
Did you go and choose them first?
Yeah, that was my first thing that I did. And then the second thing I did was I made these, I can't remember which order I did it in, but then I made these maps of the area, and I did a little trail. I called it bird watching, and I did a little trail, and I put the date and crosses where the work would be. Actually, before I did that, I made the work. So I had a plan. I knew what walls it would go on, and what work would go on which wall. And then.
And can I take you back? Why did you actually want to stick this work up in the street?
I wanted to. I wanted it to be, I didn't want it to be formal, I wanted it to be very, I also wanted to do something that was a bit kind of exciting.
Because at one point you originally wanted to do graffiti on the Joseph shop, and then it kind of evolved into this, which was,
right, yeah,
I
that's
think,
right.
more interesting.
Yeah.
So kind of, do you reckon
Do
it
you know,
came from there?
as this is site specific, I have to remember, it was partly to do with where I live, and it was, I wanted it to be as a kind of a reaction. As I've been working on these birds, I feel like making, I want to react to the way that my area's changed, and not just be a silent watcher. I live in it, and I'm always going on about it, and I never do anything about it. I really wanted to do something physical to show how I feel about, it's almost like reclaim the streets, I felt a little bit, and nobody really does graffiti in my area anymore. I live they paint over it as soon as it goes up. I wanted to see how long they last as well. I feel quite strongly about how things change, and I was going to give it out, but I wrote in this, which is very badly spelled actually, but I wrote something about my area and feeling really strongly, and as I was doing this work, I was also having a battle with my daughter who couldn't get into a school that I wanted her to because of the popularity of it, and people who had lots of money, they were moving near the school, and I was kind of also saying that, because one teacher asked me if it was a bit like self-flagellation, putting my work on the walls and not being able to get anything from it, but it was almost also a slight statement that some things can't be bought, sort of thing, you know, some things you can't buy. But that was just a passing thought as I was writing about it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Actually, Sophie, I remember when you handed out the map and gave us all the information of the various locations of the work,
Yeah.
and following the map and finding the work suddenly in this public space, and just being very pleasantly elated at being able to recognise your work on the street. It was a very, very positive experience.
I liked it myself. I liked walking down the road and seeing my work on the wall. It felt good. And even when people painted over it, like you can see here, wet paint signs, and they read us, and it felt like someone had gone to quite a lot of effort to get rid of me. I felt quite proud of that.
You care about knowledge, don't you?
Yeah.
How long did it take before it got
this one
painted?
lasted a week, whereas these ones, they're on the William Hill betting shop on, I forgot the road now.
Don't worry.
But
The
they were
Golden
big,
Road?
I mean they were quite big, so that was quite an achievement. But to last a week, this one only lasted a day, this big one. And it was, when I put it up, it was right, this is Ladbroke Grove going across here. And there's cars, police cars, you know, and I'm putting it up 2 in the morning with my friend. My hand's shaking because it's so big, you know. It's quite obvious, what are you doing? And they did stop us and they were like, well, what are you doing? I was like,
art.
No, that's when they stopped us, when here, these 3 tiny little ones, they told me to take them down.
Who did?
The police. And I said, okay then. But I didn't.
Where was the one that got painted over?
They all did. This one got painted over. This one lasted about a week as well, actually. This one lasted 1 day. The guy came out of his shop. It was on the other side of the shop, and he started taking it off. Yeah, but I guess, you know, people get threatened, don't they, by any sort of form of expression, you know, in West London. Any, you know, thinking outside the box, it's quite scary for people.
I like the way it's underneath the surveillance camera.
Yeah, that's right. There was one pointing this way too. Yeah. And this is the best shot of the lady in her burqa, and the she looks like she's watching. She's in relation to my previous projects.
And where was that one with the camera?
That was just off Golborne. That was on Golborne Road, just off Portobello.
When I used to put posters up,
Sorry?
What did you glue them with? Like wallpaper stuff?
Wallpaper paste.
when I used to put posters up myself, I used to do it in broad daylight. I felt the safest way to do it was to pretend you had permission, and in broad daylight you just stick them up.
Yeah. I did
Not
do.
looking furtive at all.
I
That
did-
seemed to be the best bet outcome.
Yeah, I did do one in broad daylight, and these 2 guys came out their house and just, you know, like, they got really upset.
Was it on their house? Or just
No,
here?
it was their house was here, and like, see this one. This is.
Are they
this
the
is a public
that's your
wall.
house? No.
No,
Your
this
house.
is a street wall. So behind the wall, there's people's houses. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But it's a street wall. So you know, it wasn't his wall. It was a communal wall.
Mm.
But obviously he didn't like it.
Do you think people are upset or offended because it's news-reading or
Well,
I wonder?
I mean, it's a very Muslim area, so I did wonder about that. I mean, Golborne Road is extremely populated by mostly Muslim, actually. So, but there's naked women everywhere. I mean,
In my mind, yeah.
So Sophie, when you put your work on the wall
yeah.
and then just leave them for a day or two, aren't you afraid that somebody might come and remove them or maybe draw something on
I
it or
wanted them
destroy
to
them
draw
or
something,
something?
that would have
Yeah?
been good.
Huh?
But I knew that they would get, I knew they wouldn't last. It was part of it. I wanted to see what would happen to them. And in fact, this one still looks like this. This one lasted the longest. No. These two are still there. So if you get the bus,
You
you
see
get the
them?
52 bus. Is it Cambridge Gardens or Oxford Gardens? These two little ones. This one's
So did you find this, say you'd exhibited these in a gallery, did you find this more exciting to
Yeah.
exhibit this work on the street than in a
Yeah,
gallery?
definitely. There's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
about walking into a gallery and you're already expecting something. And there's more joy, or there's more, it's unexpected. It's like, it's like,
Oh, so the art world is kind of everywhere, isn't it? Art's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's sort of.
and then as soon as it's on a gallery wall, it's like you're supposed to, it's like the Emperor's new clothes, I find sometimes, especially with like Saatchi. It's like, ta-da! It's like, well, that you're thinking that's utter shit, but because it's on a wall, it's supposed to be good. It doesn't, you know, it's because it's on a gallery wall, it's supposed to be something.
So in a sense, you could say art gets looked at less in galleries now.
Yeah, well, maybe, yeah.
Possibly.
No.
But why the birds? Where did that come from?
Oh,
Is that
right,
relevant to
okay.
this, or is that just
Is it relevant?
what you've been doing anyway? Birds.
It was what I was doing.
Do you call
anyway.
it? Do you call it birds? How do you call it?
Birds, just birds.
Just birds. Okay.
Which was play on words to about men call the way men call women birds. Most of my male friends call women birds.
They're a bit stuck in the past, aren't they? It's like Alfie or something. You know?
Everyone calls women birds. I don't know
Really?
what you're talking about.
I don't know anybody who calls women birds anymore.
Really?
People used to when I was about 16, but
Yeah.
not now.
Sort of fuck off idea
Mm.
to this. I mean, it's a massive shift, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not aggressive.
Do
That's
you
the
mean-
image is not aggressive.
Are you talking about my graffitiing the side of Joseph?
Yeah.
That was also, it wasn't just a fuck off thing that evening.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
also a homage to somebody who taught me a lot and who had previously graffitied a wall in my neighbourhood.
Yeah.
So this could also be construed by somebody as a fuck off statement. It
But it's
depends.
much more open in a way. Oh, I think.
I don't know. I mean, it was quite a big deal pasting stuff to the wall, you know.
But I think what's interesting is
Which
advertising
is
people
stuck,
paste things
really
up.
stuck.
You know, so advertising posters get pasted up in certain places, and there's also an advertising thing where they started doing posters that didn't say anything, and it was the start of a campaign. So they do that for a month, then they there's a follow-on one which tells them what it's really about. So that's the first one's a kind of taster.
Yeah.
But things that have no apparent meaning at all don't get put up at all. So
Yeah.
this is very different from advertising in that way. You know?
Yeah.
There's no slogan, there's not even a signature, there's nothing, it's not saying come to my show or buy my CD. There's nothing, it's not one of those, it's just it is what it is, nothing more.
It was very spontaneous, which is rather nice.
Yeah, it
I
was
like
very
that.
spontaneous
I like
because once I'd given the maps out with the date, I had to do it. There was no going back.
That's because that forced you into it. That was a good strategy then. Because
Yeah,
you could have bottled out.
yeah. I had to do it at 2
Yeah.
in the morning. Had to get up and post. And also the bird concept as well. I mean, there's so many different cultures and in where I live, and you know, there's and I felt like it was. I mean, I've grown up with people. I don't know why you don't know that people call women birds. I think that's really weird.
Well, because I just think I remember I used to do it, but it's in the past. Nobody I know still calls people birds. You know, they've sort of stopped doing that. I know about it, of course, but
No, it's weird.
Sophie knows a lot of traditionalists. All the
I didn't
Englishmen.
even know people I went to school with, you know, boys.
Sophie,
I
you
went
know
to
the work
school.
that you put up in the end of year show?
Yeah.
I really liked the way you presented that and you know that woman you painted on the door. Do you think that's you were inspired to present it that way after doing this project? Because I can see elements of this actually that
Yeah.
you've used in
Oh,
your
yeah.
show and actually tried to bring it back into a gallery space,
Mm.
but using things like doors and found objects
Yeah.
displayed. I think
I
you've
think I've
done that
always.
really well.
I think I've always done that. I think I've always used doors and found objects. That's
true.
because I like the history. I like, you know, it adds depth to it.
But it also seems to me you've always been trying to make some kind of connection kind of to influence the street or something.
Yeah.
That thing using like bits of wood to paint on and stuff.
Yeah.
You didn't want it to be a pure white canvas.
No.
It was kind of deliberate. Right? So there's a kind of social political thing running through this as well.
Yeah.
Which one are you more satisfied with, or are they just different?
The social.
The putting the birds here or putting them on trays and doors and stuff.
Oh, I love this one.
Yeah, yeah,
I felt really,
yeah, yeah.
really pleased with myself.
Yeah.
But
It's such a different commentary though from a lot of sort of more male street graffiti or images or, you know.
Yes, you usually see these.
Well, they're more sort of social commentaries, aren't they? Like Black Lorette and Banksy. And
yeah, Lorette.
you're kind of not really telling anybody what they should think. That's
No.
what I like about it.
They're,
They're not
I'm
authoritative, you know.
I'm
They're not.
questioning more than telling.
Yeah,
Can you imagine doing-
I've had a lot of conversations with people about it,
yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah.
and they made them question it. They didn't answer a question. They were still questioning. It was always remains a question.
And can you imagine doing this again?
Yeah. Yeah, but I do think it is. I would like to learn how to sell work as well.
Yeah.
I need the money.
But having said that, you did sell some work at the end of your exhibition.
Yeah,
Oh, did you?
yeah, I did.
Oh,
So you hypnotised my friend.
Yeah, I hypnotised him.
Good work.
My mum taught me how to do that.
Very good. I think this is great. So what you need to know is put it together in a folder.
Okay.
Yeah, to give it in. You know. But this is good. This is good.
Okay.